Hello and welcome back to the second portion of the menu here at the Prog Rock Diner. And you know what? As I promised, I'm bringing you something special this hour, and we're going to have the chosen few, or I should say chosen few, in with me. That would be Paul Sears, Steve Mitchell, and Ruben Riera, as well as special guest Tenk Van Dool, who came all the way from California to be here. And by the time you hear the show, they would have performed here in Superior, Arizona at the Superior Music Fest number 3. Anyway, we are going to hear from them and see how it all got started. So, all right, so who wants to start with how did Chosen Few come together?
Well, basically, when we had moved to Superior, I was at a complete I was flummoxed. I really didn't have anybody to play with other than the bar band that we had we put together for the Barmacy. Then back in 2021, I met Steve Mitchell, who had just moved to Superior, and he and I did some recording and a bunch of playing and jamming and just listening to music and having a good old time. And we decided to do some recording. And then had loved to have had more people. And then my good friend Steve Holmquist, who lives in Superior, met Ruben Riera. Hi, Ruben.
Hi, I'm Ruben.
And
you're not. Hi.
Ruben is our woodwind player. And then we got together and played, Steve, Ruben, and I, and it worked really well. So we decided to form a band. And Ruben came up with the name.
Yeah, I came up with Chosen Few, which was spelled the same way as the movie, The Chosen Few. But then you came out and changed the spelling.
I alternated the spelling so that we would stand out on internet searches.
And we do stand out.
Yeah, right.
So just a second, though. So Chosen Few you named was after a movie?
Yeah, I saw the name, and a Chosen Few, when you choose people, you choose a very special people. So I thought Chosen Few would fit into this category of people.
Okay, great. Okay, go ahead. Who's next?
Well, I'm Steve Mitchell, and I kind of landed in Superior like an alien kind of. I didn't know anybody, and took my guitar down to this coffee shop on Main Street and met the whole town basically, and started a conversation with Paul. Somebody introduced me to him, and I'm like, wow, there's somebody else that plays music. I thought I was done with bands, and the music followed me out to the desert pretty much.
I saw the advertisement in a lot of the coffee shops, but I was playing on the streets of Globe. I usually do First Friday, and Steve Holmquist chimed into my MySpace on Facebook and said, "Hey, well, how would you like to meet these guys in Superior?" And they were looking for a horn player, and I said, "Oh, that sounds great. That sounds awesome." I left New York and I used to play in the streets of New York, so I said, "Yeah, I'd like to get with a band and play. Sure, I'd like to collaborate and do some original music." Since I was doing a lot of covers, and I said to myself, "Well, covers sounds okay sometimes, but doing some original music would be even better. It'll expand my horizons and my creativity."
Okay. That sounds good to me.
That's pretty much how it worked. And most of our material, in fact, most of our arrangements are based on riffs bass lines that Steve came up with. And we basically sculpted those into compositions mixed in with free improvisation.
Okay, so you have played a few times here in Superior, and let's see. So
Miami.
Tell me some more about what you're doing and how Tank. Hi, Tank.
Hello.
Well, we just released an album on Deco Entertainment, who is a Warner ADA label. We have an album out called Future Proof. We have actually hosted 2 music festivals here in Superior, along with Regenerating Sonora. And we have played twice now at the wonderful Miami Loco Festival down in Miami. We just played there a couple of weeks ago. And we're having Superior Music Festival number 3 will be on Saturday, the 17th, from 2 to 7 p.m.
Okay, which has already happened by the time people hear this show, but several local musicians will be joining you, and I'm going to say it was a really great event.
Great.
But
so anyway, I have another project entirely with Tenk Van Dool, and I recorded an album with him last year, in fact, last May, called A Periodic Rock, which is also on Deco Entertainment, and a single called King Cone, which is also on Deco Entertainment. And I sent him some of our music, and lo and behold, Tenk got involved.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah.
Yay.
I think the first one you sent me was
I'm a Gummy.
I'm a Gummy.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm.
It was right around October, and it was kind of a Halloweenish, moody song that I absolutely loved when I first heard it. Mm-hmm. And I've always played like blues-based rock in the past, and I was looking to make a left-hand turn and do something out of the ordinary, and that song really spoke to me, as well as all the other music that these guys are writing.
Yeah, we were sitting out here and we called you and we're like, man, I wish you would just do some tracks on it. And you had the same idea at the same time. So I'm like, do it.
Yeah, absolutely loved it.
Yeah,
and instead of writing, I was mostly embellishing what you guys had written. And it was challenging and fun and unique and a total blast.
I learn something every time I do somebody else's music. I learn a whole different approach, like learning your stuff. The first song, the song walks into a bar or something.
Yeah, I also have to shout out to Dave Newhouse, who played saxophone. He played Barry sax on I'm a Gummy. And then out of the blue, he wrote a really, really cool tune specifically for us called Flummoxed, which is on our album Future Proof, which came out on May 9th on Deco Entertainment.
Yeah, some really great collaborations there. That's awesome. And, let's see. What else can you tell me about what you are going to do maybe in the future? Anything?
We are actually recording a completely new project with Tenk that is as yet unnamed.
Okay.
Creative minds,
as a matter of fact.
think alike.
Yeah, definitely got to keep this thing going.
We're going to keep it going,
Yeah.
I've got a couple of songs, too, that I've written.
Excellent.
That's so cool that Tenk actually came down here to do this show with us on Saturday. We're really happy. We're really happy that Tenk is here.
Yes.
Because I've done a bunch of recording with this guy, but I never met him before until about an hour and a half ago.
No, he's
Just walked in the door.
He's in the flesh now.
Just flew in from California, and boy, are my arms tired.
Rolled in from California.
Yeah.
Eat a lot of bird seeds. It'll get you back.
Okay. So now, is there anything else you want to talk about in your musically or otherwise? You're more than welcome to chat about whatever you want. We've got some time. Oh, you know what I need to know? I know it's on Deco Entertainment, but I don't think you mentioned to people how the best way they can get the music.
Basically, the Deco Entertainment is a Warner ADA partner, and so the product, the CD and the downloads are available on every streaming platform that Warner uses, and the physical CD can be acquired directly from Deco or from us at a show, or locally, pretty much.
And I heard a rumor that you have T-shirts now too.
Oh my God! Well,
for CHO-ZEN.
Well, that's going to be old news because they're going to be at the gig that we just did by the time this thing airs.
Yeah, and well, maybe if they don't sell out, maybe somebody can get some who can, make it to the show.
In fact, the guy that made them is on his way over here right now.
Awesome.
Our executive producer.
Our executive producer, Mr. Eric Winsenson. We thank him heartily for his friendship and support.
Yeah, definitely.
This is definitely taking off. Definitely taking off.
All right. Well, like I said, is there anything else you want to add? Anything any of you want to talk about?
Well, other than buy our record, we are working on new stuff. We at rehearsals, we always set aside time to to work on stuff that's under development, or just jam, so to speak, or improvise. And then we take these parts of these improvisations and knit them together and turn them into compositions, which is actually, the Muffins actually worked like that for 35 years.
Yeah.
I take creative criticism.
All right.
I do. I like that.
So
Creative
actually,
criticism,
Me
works.
too.
Tank, I want to kind of ask you if you want to talk about any of the other projects. I know you had a band and some other things you had worked on before. Do you want to say anything about those, or are they still active?
Well, I had a band called Temple of Switches, and it's still around, although it's on hiatus right now.
Okay.
I'm so excited about this collaboration that that's all that's been on my mind lately.
Okay.
And it's kind of changed the way I approach playing, and the fact that we're playing live kind of caught me with my pants down because for the past 8 years or so I've been doing all studio work and switching around between keyboards, bass, and guitar, and Paul asked me to come here and play, and I realized that I really haven't focused my energy on performing or playing my guitar like I should be. So this is a new chapter for me. I'm actually going to start focusing back on perfecting my guitar playing, or growing it.
Awesome. Okay. Well, that's great.
The same way for
well,
me,
again,
with
thank you for
recording
coming
a lot.
all the way out here.
And then when I started playing with Paul, I'm like, I almost didn't know what to do anymore.
Yeah,
I'm like, dude, I just start from square one again.
Basically,
That's where I'm
I
at.
was rusted, so I needed this.
Yeah.
My psychiatrist told me I need to be around creative people. So
Well, you're definitely around creative people.
I talked to my psychiatrist. He says,
Your psychiatrist has not met us, obviously.
that's the point. He hasn't.
Yeah, creativity is
Definitely.
Well, all right. Again, well, thanks for joining me here at the Prog Rock Diner on Radio Fairfax and taking the time to chat with us with all your endeavors. And hopefully we'll be hearing more from all of you soon. So, anything else you want to add before we move on to some music?
Well, Deb is going to play some tracks now from our album called
Future Proof.
Okay, so we'll talk to you guys later.
Thank you very
Bye,
much.
Deb.
You're
Thanks for
welcome.
having us.
You're welcome.
This is great.